Yo, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to see you. A late one today, a late one today. Unfortunately, I was like, I'm going to get up early today. We're going to do 9 o'clock, 7 days in a row. And it didn't work. I slept in. Hey, good to see you, Angela or Gaylo. Wendy R is here. Marilyn Landis, RX Girl. You have two missing cats? Oh, that's not good. Marilyn Landis, good to see you, my friend. Moon Shadow, it's great to see you too. Leave food out on your balcony so they can come back. Yeah, put some clothing outside too. That'd be good. Sienna, hey, Sienna says tonight I'm helping my son pack. So listening tonight. Hello to all of my friends. Hello, Sienna. Yeah, hopefully you find them. Hey, Moonlight View, good to see you. Tharvi, great to have you. Kathy, Diamond Heart is here. So let's catch up on some stuff. It's been 24 hours since I last seen you. I don't know what you're up to, but I've been watching true crime stuff. So I want to talk more about Suzanne. Apparently, they still haven't located her. These missing people cases or, presumed deceased murder cases, they really bug me. It's like how can you hide a body and they can't find it? It drives me up the wall, sort of like the Lawrence case from the UK where they can't find her after 15 years. Drives me bonkers. It really does. So let's talk about more about that. I want to talk about that while we get started tonight. Let me bring up an article and show you what the latest in the missing San Antonio mum is. Apparently, her husband's been in jail for a while now. Got transferred to a different jail, and he's being still held on that $2 million bond, which is a good thing. Guy does not deserve to be out in the wild. Not after he can't tell anyone where his wife is. I mean, I can't think of anything else, but all right. This is the latest update out of it. This is all I can find right now. It says Brad Simpson, who's her husband, faces hold for questioning by federal authorities. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's not funny. I just find it funny that he was like, "I have hope. They gave me a $2 million bond, and now the feds want him." They say federal authorities on Friday placed a hold on the husband of an Almost Park woman missing since early this week. And they say adding another obstacle to him being possibly released from jail. They say Simpson, 53, remained at the Bexar County Jail Friday on bonds totaling more than $2 million. Oof, that's a lot of money. They say after being arrested in Kendall County Wednesday on charges of family violence and unlawful restraint, these charges come from witness statements on from neighbors, I'm pretty sure, that saw them fighting once they made it home from the country club. So, or private club, or whatever you want to call it. It's a country club. They're saying here he is scheduled for a bond hearing Tuesday morning at the jail's auxiliary court, according to records. If Simpson posts bond on the county charges, it's possible he could be transferred into the custody of U.S. Marshals. They're saying a Bexar County Central Records Office records official confirmed on Friday. The official had no other information on the reason for his hold. Why would a U.S. Marshal Service want him? They're saying here a U.S. Marshal spokesperson told KSAT on Friday that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, the ATF, will have to finish its investigation before marshals intervene in Simpson's custody. This is all very weird. They're saying the federal court records show no pending federal charges against him, and he was transferred to Bexar County Jail on Thursday. A federal hold or detainer is a request from a federal agency to keep an inmate in custody or to notify the agency before his or her release. ATF investigates federal crimes including the unlawful use of or theft of firearms. They're saying Susan still hasn't been found after she was last seen on Sunday night. This is getting all a little strange. Why would the marshals want him when he's already in custody? It's very strange. Let me play this little video here for you. Maybe it'll tell us a bit more about these federal holds.
And just in the last hour, we learned that federal investigators could be eyeing Brad Simpson. Bexar County Central Records confirms the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and the U.S. Marshals have placed a hold on Simpson. That means if he posts bond on the county charges, he could then be taken into custody by federal authorities. ATF investigates federal crimes, including the unlawful use or theft of firearms. KSAT could find no pending federal charges right now against Simpson. He remains in custody at the Bexar County Jail on bonds totaling $2 million. A bond hearing has been scheduled for Tuesday morning.
As police in Olmos Park put in long hours searching for 51-year-old Suzanne Simpson, those who know her have been...
Not much more of an explanation. Do they think that he either broke some sort of firearm law, or do you think he maybe shot her? Because why would the ATF be involved? Unless he was bootlegging alcohol across state lines or tobacco, maybe he was transporting vapes across state lines. No, I'm not sure. This is a little odd. Let me see if I can find anything else about the ATF being involved. Like, I know they normally get involved in firearm cases. So, hold on. I can't see much else about... Let's go to... I want to check this update. No. Yeah, so I can't find anything about why they're involved, really. Hey, James. The alcohol, tobacco, firearm, and explosives. Did he have explosives on him? Maybe he did. I don't think so. I think it's probably got to do with a firearm, some sort of firearm offense. Maybe he shot her. I mean, this is Texas. Everyone's packing heat down there. So, I mean, if you don't have a gun, well, you're not best in your Sunday dress. You're not dressed in your Sunday best down there. Everyone carries a firearm. It's open carry. I mean, I know. Talk to Trish. She'll tell you stories about firearms down there. They found a note from Austin King. Oh no. I really, since they wound down the search, I hadn't checked into it. Then we got into Milton, and it's been a blur this week. Let me have a look. We'll check it out after this, but we're going to keep on top of this. He's due back in court on Tuesday for a hearing in Bexar County, so we'll look into that. Are they going to find her before then? I hope so. I really hate the thought of her remains being out there in this heat for over a week. It's almost like the most disrespectful final act of someone you're supposed to love, right? Hey, desecrating their remains, leaving them in the heat to degrade and not allow people to have a goodbye. That always gets to me. I hate that. And it's almost like one final insult to the victim. Let's see. Maybe they found illegal weapons in his home. Yeah, man, he has the triggers and all the ghost guns. He has the ghost guns, and we got triggers for everyone. Moonshadow says another Suzanne Morphew case. Yeah, I hope they're on top of it. Better than Suzanne's, the other one, the Morphew one. Still, how many years later now? 3-4 years later. Still no real idea what happened. Like, we know what happened to Susan, but we don't have any justice for her. And who knows if we ever will. They screwed it up so badly the first time, and then stumbled upon her body another year later. They really made a mess out of that one. Yeah, she's a mom. She's got like a bunch of children. They probably miss her very dearly. So, I'm sure they are worried about their mom right now. Hey, Glitter, how are you? All right, I want to check into this Austin King thing because, like, we followed that for ages. Thank you for letting me know. I don't know, since the search went down, because they said unless there was a massive, like, unless they found him, basically, they weren't going to do any more updates. Like, that was the last message on the national park page that I read to you. Here, let's go to the Daily Mail. It says, dad of missing Yellowstone hiker Austin King shares eerie note left on mountaintop by son 3 days before he failed to check into camp. Is this the little book up the top? We've seen photos of it when we were doing this. There's a little, like a lunchbox type thingy up there, and it's got a notebook inside and a pen or a pencil, and you can leave a message for other hikers who make it to the peak. So I wonder if that's where they found the note. Indeed, it is. Indeed, it is. It is that notebook that everyone that we've seen photos of before. I think so, anyway. Yes, it does look like that. There we go. It is this one. So you can see here, this is from a different hiker, Andrew. He's from Bridge Bay. That was done on the 7th of the 9th, 7th of September, 24. This is 17th of the 9th. And this is from him here, Austin King. He says, I can't feel my fingers and my glasses are so fogged from the ruthless weather of the mountain. I truly cannot believe I am here. After what it took to be here, I endured rain, sleet, hail, and the most wind I have ever felt. What did he say? And the most wind I could have ever felt. I could not see eagle for most of the day due to fog. He said he's never seen so much fog in his life. I feel I free soloed too many cliffs to get here. Ugh. That's not good. Do you know what that means? He free soloed cliff faces. That's not good. That means he climbed up. I'm not sure if that means he had no support system. I'm not a hiker, but I'm pretty sure that means that free solo is one solo climbing. That means one person, and free means no support harness. I'm pretty sure. Like, I've done a little bit of research into this stuff before. That doesn't sound good, and that doesn't bode well for how the hell did he get back down. It worries me very much that I said from the start that the aeroplane reconnaissance that they were doing, or helicopter reconnaissance, they weren't focusing at the top or any of the paths. They were focusing in the valleys. I think they believe he fell, which sucks badly. It's really sad after you hear this message from him and how proud he is of his achievement and overcoming Mother Nature and, just him against the world, climbing a mountain. It's very awe-inspiring, right? And it says here, he walked up to the peak from the connecting peak, aka not the right path. I am 22 years old and I'll never forget today, the rest of my life. Life is beautiful. Go out and live it. Austin King. Sounds like he was in a great mood. Like, I don't see any depression here or anything like that. Although I don't think that was a real suggestion that he'd done something silly. I think it definitely sounds like it really sounds to me like he fell. Sounds like he took a lot of risks to get there. Like the fact he didn't take the correct path up. He free soloed many cliff faces. That is worrying that he didn't have climbing ropes. And then he says here, he took the wrong path and made it to the peak from a connecting peak. That's yeah. And then his conditions are really bad: fog, rain, sleet. I really am going to glue you to the microphone, you stupid spit guard. I hate this stupid thing. It never worked ever since the day I got it. It's fallen. I've connected it in different places and tried, and doesn't matter where I put it, it falls. I've connected it to different arms on the microphone. There's like up here and back here and on this one and down here. It sucks. I've even connected it to the table one time before. We may do that again. That was probably the best solution. All right. Whoa, who's leaving me a ton of comments? Hey, Clayton, how are you? The hell? Clayton, are you in the wrong chat, my friend? Clayton, I think you're commenting on the late show from the other night, and you're leaving comments in that particular video, like under the video. You don't seem to be in this chat here where we are right now. Is he here? Hey, Clayton, I saw your messages under the other video. Yeah, we're reading the note, bud. I can read it again for you if you want, if you missed it. Hold on, let me zoom out. This thing's going to drop. Hold on. There we go. Let's read it. We'll read it again. So this is from him on the 17th of September. And he just says, I can't feel my fingers and my glasses are so fogged from the ruthless weather of the mountain. He says he truly cannot believe that he's there after what it took to be at the location at the peak. He says, I endured rain, sleet, hail, and the most wind I've ever felt. He said, I could not see Eagle for most of the day due to the most fog I have ever seen in my life. I free soloed too many cliffs to get here and walked up to the peak from the connecting peak, aka not the right path. I'm 22 years old and I'll never forget today the rest of my life. He says, life is beautiful, go out and live it. Austin King. If he is unfortunately passed away and he did have a tragic accident, which that's my opinion, I hope he's alive and somehow surviving in the mountain. But with the 100 people who went out to find him, you would have thought if he was out there, he'd be like, oh, hey, I'm over here. I really need help. I think he would have been found by now. But if there is one thing to take here, I think it's his final, journey to the peak and how proud he was of himself. I mean, you can see how elated he is. He's like, go out and live life and get out into the wilderness and, try and achieve something for yourself. He wasn't doing this for anyone but himself. He didn't have a live stream. He didn't have a camera. He wasn't doing this to show off online. He did it because he wanted to challenge himself. And unfortunately, it looks like he never made it back down. I think he may have tripped coming back down. Tripped or slipped or something trying to get down a cliff face. It is very interesting, yeah. Rough weather, yeah. A spittoon? Use a spittoon? Do they make those anymore? If we're going to do a spittoon, I'm going to have to get some chewing tobacco. All right? That's the deal. Like, otherwise it won't sound cool enough. It just won't sound awesome enough. That looks like my 11-year-old nephew's handwriting. This guy writes better than I do. I can't even, you know what it probably is? His hands, like he said, his hands are so cold that he can't feel them. And he's trying to leave a note in the registry book. He probably can't write properly or steadily because his hands are frozen. I want to just look up this term for a second. I want to make sure we're defining it correctly. Hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was right. Yeah, free solo climbing is basically no ropes and it's solo. So it's just you alone, no ropes, no support system. Wow, he did a great job to get there. I'm telling you. This is like what they call free solo. So you rock climb with no support system. And all it takes is one. We don't even know if he had the proper shoes. Like when they do this, you're supposed to have these. I don't know if you can see in this particular photo. Here we go. They wear these shoes that are like ultra grippy. They're very form fitting. And that is so you can stick your toes in little crevices in the wall and get a good grip on little tiny ledges. They're really rubberized, I think, on the bottom, and they're for climbing. So we don't even know if he even had those. Was he wearing like Nikes or something? Did he have this? So this guy's got what looks like a chalk bag here to help with his hands, and his hands do look like they have chalk on them. So he's got a chalk bag that he can stick his mitts into. And look, this guy's got crazy upper body strength. Look at those forearms and that arm. That guy must be incredibly strong. This guy was a young 22-year-old. I don't know if he had that much climbing experience, and I don't know if he ever free soloed anything before in his life. So that is concerning to hear, real concerning. Wendy asked it, he'd surely be tired after all that climbing. I've heard making it up to that peak is exhausting. It is a hard climb, and it's a hard climb for people who haven't done it before. So if you are someone who hasn't done a lot of mountain climbing or, you know, severe hiking, it's quite a daunting summit. But for people who do it quite frequently, apparently it's what they consider an easier climb. But for people who haven't done it, it's quite daunting. The fact he says he didn't do it once, he did it multiple times. Multiple. See, I free soloed too many cliffs to get here. Not like a little tiny thing. A cliff. Straight up. I wonder if he lost his way. Because the route that I've seen up the mountain, there is no cliff. There's no cliff to take unless you're on the wrong side of the mountain. If you're on the wrong side of the mountain, there is vertical cliff that you can go up. But and he said he was on the wrong peak. So he said he came up from the connecting peak, aka not the right path. The right path is through the pass and then up. Hold on, let's have a look. There is another peak next to it. So let me grab this map. All right, let me see if we can get back to our old map. So where could he have come from? Is he saying he walked along this what looks like a mountain spine up through here and then made it up? Or if this is, I don't know if this is correct or it's actually right here, but it could be placed like, you know, not quite in the right place. But I don't know how he got up here. There's the pass up here. I think the normal route is sort of up through here and then up somewhere through here. We saw it on a video. We watched a couple of guys climb from the pass to the peak. Hell of a climb. Those guys did a really good job at getting up. But if he came from a different peak area, even through here, but how the hell would he get up here? Because you're not going up through here. It's basically very vertical. I'm not sure where he came from or what other peak he's talking about, but if he walked along the spine of the mountain here, you could see it doesn't look very wide, does it? It's very thin until you get through here, and it's a little thicker and wider. And then you can get up through, I don't know. It looks not great. He said he free soloed too many cliff faces. What a brave young guy, but not good. Well, anyway, this is the peak. This is the pass over here. If you haven't seen it before, it's over here. So most of the videos you'll find online that when I did researching of it, most of them sort of do this hike up Mountain Creek Trail, and then they turn on their cameras around here. They don't really do this one. I don't know why. Maybe it's boring, but they all sort of turn on their videos around here and then show you the ascent up the mountain. So I'm not sure why they don't do this. Maybe it's very, I don't know, not video video quality or great, but most of them will show you when they get to the pass and then go up. Let's see if we can find that video again. I just want to see where he could have come from. I just want to see where the hell he could have come from. I'm going to use this channel's video again. His name's Jackson Graham. If you want to give him a like or a subscribe, it'd be really nice. He's only got 14 subscribers, although he has 2,500 views on his video. So well done, Mr. Jackson Graham. I'm just going to pinch your video for a second. This is them getting ready. This is them getting up for their hike. You should watch the entire thing, by the way. It's about 16 minutes. What the hell is that? Water going through a filter? Like filterized water? Probably filtered water, like from the stream. All right. All right, so here we go. I think, is this the pass? Let's have a look. This is the pass right here, I'm pretty sure. They go past the sign too. Entering Yellowstone National Park, and then they head up. So you guys can kind of see the surrounding. It ain't for the faint of heart. Yeah, I think this is it around here. And then you make your way up. Yeah, through here. So it's not too bad through here, although he almost tripped just then. Yeah, let me make this full screen. And then you start going up. All right. It's pretty rocky. You see them trying to get up and through. Imagine doing this in fog, rain, sleet, can't feel your hands, and you've got to scale some sort of rock face. I mean, I don't really, and it gets really thin in places too. Very, very thin. There's a couple of spots where you see these guys are walking on about a foot of land or freehold, or what they call purchase. Let's see. Yeah, look through here. See through here, the guy's walking up. There is not much land there for you to walk up through. Gets a little wider at the top, but there's some little parts where it's only about a foot wide. And then they get up here, and this is where I'll show you. They're at the top. This is that little book that I'm pretty sure where that note came from. So there's a little army tin up here, and they'll open it up, and you'll see there's a notebook in here. Let's see if they write in it. There you go. So here's the notebook where you leave the notes. So this is where the climbers leave their little stories about how they got up there. And you can see it looks very similar to the one we just read from. This one. See, there's another climber here. And it looks very similar to the video that Jackson Graham did. Little green booklet here. And you can see here, there's a climber there. There's another one on the other part of the page. So that must be where that note came from. They probably would have found that very early on. That's probably how they knew, one, the weather conditions, two, I really am going to glue you to the microphone. Yeah, so they have a drink. They have a bit of a drink. Hey, let's have a toast. And they look around the beautiful view. Their weather was quite good. You can see here, it's quite a clear day. It's got some low cloud, but it doesn't look like there's any threat of snow, rain, anything like that. It's a pretty clear day. You just have a little bit of low-level cloud hanging around, but nothing that you would consider a threat, at least not right now. And you can kind of see. So he said he came from a different peak. I don't know how he did it. Oh, a cigar? Hell yeah. That's what I was thinking. See how there's like this sort of spine area through here and up? That's what I was wondering, if he came up through here somehow and walked along this ridge. Geez, that's a hell of a fall if you trip. And then see, you got this, see here, all through here, this is where I was wondering if he came up across the peak through there. So he says he came from a different peak. This is sort of the spine that runs along. That's what I was wondering, if that's where he came from, not the way these guys went. If that's the way he came and the way he planned to go back, you can see how high up they are, highest peak in the park. I hope they find him. That's all I can say. I hope he's not somewhere, you know, inconvenient that they're never going to find him again. Hope they can find him. It's about a month now, right? About a month? Just shy. Wendy says, surprising the pen keeps working. Maybe they have one of those cool pens that, I don't know. Maybe they have these pens that work in all conditions. It has like a thinner ink, I think, and that you're able to use it in all times of the year. But when these guys went up, they were okay. You guys are funny. Kathy says, did he not expect the extreme weather? I don't know. We don't know a ton about his mindset or what he knew going into it. All we know is that he had some time off work and he planned to go up the mountain for, or was it like 5 days or a week? That's all we know. So I'm surprised he hasn't been found by now. I really am. But the park is huge. You can see in the video, it's so sprawling. Like, there you go. And they only had about 100 people searching for about 10 days. They were out there, and they weren't able to locate him. So you see, there's a lot of tree growth and you know, small trees, tall trees. So if you fell somewhere and rolled, or you know, there's a lot of different scenarios where maybe you're out of sight and they can't see you, especially if you're critically injured or have a broken leg or a hip or a back, you know, you can't move to signal the rescuers or something like that. Very, very sad. Very sad, because you can see how happy these guys were up there. I don't know who this is, but probably one of Mr. Jackson Graham's friends that he did the hike with. And there's that book again where the note came from. By the way, check out his channel if you want to watch the full hike up the mountain, and you should head over to his channel and see. It's a cool video. I've watched it. I've watched it from all the way through. It's a really great hike. Looked like he had a great time with his buddy. They got to have a cigar and some alcohol. Seems like they had a good time. And then they had to get back down. So these guys had really great conditions, and it worries me because you hear in that note what he was experiencing. Maybe he should have gone a different way, a different day, a different time. Maybe he forced himself to go up. You know, oh, I've only got this time off. It sort of has to be now. I'm not going to get another week off until, you know. The other thing might have been is that heading into winter, maybe conditions for the summer were starting to end on the mountain. So maybe they have like a climbing season where it's more like during the summer and the spring where it's nicer weather, and heading into autumn and winter, maybe the conditions in that area start to deteriorate, especially in the high altitude, and they don't get a lot of climbing done. But I'm not sure. There's people who climb, you know, snowy mountains all the time. So don't ask Ping, because Ping don't know. I ain't climbing no mountains. Ping not doing it. Yeah, I feel very sad. I hope they can find the poor guy. There's a photo of Austin there. Seems like he lived a life of just trying things. Like, here you see, this looks like a triathlon or Trinona. What? I don't know what that is. Trinona? Trinona. Some sort of triathlon? Let me see. What is that? It's, yeah, it's a triathlon. Yeah. Okay. So that was in June of 2024. Seems they do it the same weekend every year. The month before 4th of July. So that's when they do it, sort of like the month preceding. And they have a bunch of events. They have check-in, transition, swim. You go swimming. Well, that's part of the triathlon. And what do? I don't know. They race, they swim part of it, they cycle part of it, they run part of it. But it sounds like he did that and he finished. What did he finish? What does it say? He was 2:11. That's his number, and just says he's a finisher. Hey, that's a reward, right? I don't know what the medal means. He has a medal too, with the state on it and then a little T. I don't know if that means you placed at all. Did you get in the top 50 or the top 100? I don't know if everyone got one of those or only the top 100 people or something like that. But you can just tell he seems to live a very active life. Always cooler up higher. Also, your winds pick up the higher you get. It's just basic meteorology. The lower to the ground you get, the slower they get. The higher up you get, the faster your wind speed becomes. So if you have a storm, you're much safer closer to the ground than you are further up high because the wind speeds increase. So, all right, I think that's it for yeah. So he failed to arrive on his boat, and I'll show you. Actually, we can show you again. We've done it before. This is where they found his camping stuff here. This is Howe Creek. This is where they found his camp set up. There's the pass up here. It's right there, Eagle Pass, and you go from Eagle Pass up the mountain to the peak. But what he was doing, let's go back through here. He was dropped off around here, Terrence Point, and then he started his hike to his mountain. Now, from my listening to people who have done this, the most way people do this is they come through here, they follow this path or trail, and they go south, and they sort of go around in a loop, and they sort of go around here and then up. They start heading north for their, they sort of want to avoid Turret Mountain, so they go south and come up through here, and then they start their climb. They set up here at Howe Creek, and then they make it to the pass. I think we realize it's about 5 miles, right? Not 5 miles, 5 kilometers. So it's a 5K hike up through here, and then you get to the pass and then come up to the peak. So you sort of go around instead of going straight through. Sounds a little counterintuitive, but there's probably a geographical reason why that's a lot easier. I mean, there's nothing saying that you can't just go straight, but like straight through here and go up or something. But for everything I read, they said that you should go south through the trail and head all the way through here and go up and around. Why? I don't know. Probably just to avoid this mountain here, Turret Mountain. And then you can kind of get an easier way up to Eagle Peak. As where if you went through here, you'd have to traverse like Coulter Peak and Table Mountain and Turret Mountain. So you'd have to do it like 4 times just to get to Eagle Peak. And that's probably why they don't do it that way. Otherwise, you'd be doing like a triple in one go. But there is a patrol down here. Where is it? He did speak to a ranger. There's a ranger cabin down here somewhere. Where is it? Is it here? No. Where is it? No. Somewhere down here. There is a little ranger hut that he did speak to. I don't know where it is. We found it one other time. I thought it was between... Oh, okay. It's somewhere up through here. I'll have to keep looking. It's not that one. It's not that one. Ah, here it is. The one called Cabin Trail Ping. It's in the name. There's a little cabin here. I think they said there was a ranger who was in here, and he spoke to him, and he was saying, "Hey, I'm going to go summit the mountain, and XYZ." The ranger told him that the weather was bad, and to be really careful, and he advised waiting for clearer weather, I think. But it's a free world. You can't stop people. So he let him go, and he asked him where he was camping, and he said, I'm going to camp at the next campsite, which is up here at Howell Creek. And then that's it. That's the last we know. We know he made it to the top. We know he made it to Eagle Peak. We know he called his family and friends and told them that he made it. After that, no idea. 100 people searched for him for 10 days through this region and were unable to locate him. So I don't know what I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, always colder up higher. All right, thanks for telling me about the note. I figured that if he made it to the top, there would definitely be something in that little box. I knew for sure there would be. All right. Let's keep going. We got more stories to get to. Everyone just keep praying that they're going to find this guy. Never give up hope of bringing someone home. All right. Oh, that really hurt for some reason. 73-year-old man slashes 7-year-old girl at Detroit Park. They say the 73-year-old man has been charged with slashing a 7-year-old with a knife in a park attack. They say the suspect is accused of slashing a girl at a park in Detroit on Tuesday afternoon. Her name is Seda Mashra, and she's 7, and she was at Ryan Park near Ford Road and the Southfield Freeway with her grandmother when a 73-year-old Detroit man approached her around 3:45 p.m. She says a guy came up to me. He pulled my face up, and then the other hand was a knife. He just came out of nowhere and slid the knife on me. She says she kicked him, ran to a nearby home, showing mum what he'd done. She ran to her home nearby, showed her mum what he'd done to her. He slashing her throat and trying to puncture her stomach with a pocket knife. My grandma was screaming, "What? Once the grandma realized what had happened, she screamed, scaring the guy off. She said no, and then he got scared and ran. She suffered a laceration underneath her neck that required 3 stitches. And they saying when neighbors saw what happened at Ryan Park, they jumped in, corralling Lansky until police got there. When officers arrived, the suspect was getting out of his vehicle and they took him into custody without incident. He was extremely calm, which was kind of strange, they said. Here's a photo of him, Gary Lansky. Why on earth he decided to open up a pocket knife and attack a young girl? I got no idea. I got no idea why. But here he is in prison in the Department of Corrections. Do you think this is one of those attacks where an old man wasn't getting the medical needs that he needed and thought he'd go to jail and get more help? You know, we've all seen that before. I don't know. Or he's racist? I don't know. She seems to be maybe someone of color. I don't know what nationality, but let's listen to the Zoom court hearing video. Maybe they'll tell us a little bit. It'll probably only have a little bit. It's probably a news article. Let's see.
Her throat was slit. She was able to wrestle away, getting even more cuts in the process. Stitches at the hospital and a trauma the 7-year-old little girl hasn't even processed yet.
A guy came up to me. He was like that. And then he got one hand. He didn't have anything on his hand. He did pull my face up. And then the other hand was like a knife. And he just came out of nowhere and just slid the knife on me.
7-year-old Seda Masra at a park on Detroit's far west side this week with her grandma, attacked at random by a 73-year-old man.
When he came towards my grandma. I ran home, and then my grandma was screaming, "What? Everybody was saying like knife, 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 but she didn't understand. So I told her in the Arabic so she could know.
Seda kicked him and ran to her nearby home, showing Mom what he'd done, slashed her throat, and tried to puncture her stomach with a pocket knife.
His hair was gray. Here was his hair, and here was hair, but the middle was bald.
Seda describing her alleged attacker, Gary Lansky, now charged with assault with intent to murder and assault with a deadly weapon. When neighbors saw what happened at Ryan Park, they jumped in, corralling Lansky until police got there.
When we went out to the park, I mean, the children there, they were just horrified. They were traumatized.
Detroit Police Commander Vernell Newson says Lansky was oddly calm when he was arrested.
We figured that he perhaps had some type of breakdown or was experiencing a mental crisis.
The elderly man facing additional charges for domestic violence against his wife before this attack.
I'll tell him, "You're a very mean guy, and you're very a bad guy because I wish you never came out of the prison."
It came out in court today that Lansky also allegedly used a knife in that domestic violence attack on his wife and sister. In regards to the case with little Seda, he was given a $2 million cash bond.
I don't know about the bond, but why didn't they put him on a 5150 hold? Obviously, if they do believe he suffered a mental break, why is he not on a 5150? That's what it should be. And who gave him a knife? Who's like, yes, we have a great person in our household, but be very cautious. He has dementia. Don't keep any sharp objects around him. And then someone gave him a pocket knife. That's why? Why would you give him a pocket knife? Oh my god. Look, $2 million bond. He ain't getting out of jail anytime soon. And the 7-year-old is safe. What a cute little girl. Says she spoke in Arabic. So she's obviously like Lebanese or, something like that. They speak,
Jessica,
there's quite a few countries that speak, I think Syrian too. They speak Arabic. So I actually grew up with a ton of people when I was growing up in Sydney who spoke Arabic. So I can actually understand a little bit. I only know all the bad words though. I only know all the naughty words all the boys in school used to say. That's it. Because all of them used to speak in Arabic. So that's it. Thavi says, "Holy cow, what is the world coming to?" I don't know. I just don't understand the reasoning behind it. Did he think it was his wife? Did he? But it's a child. Like, I don't know. And he got done for a DV incident previous to hurting that 7-year-old little girl. What a cute little girl. And hopefully she grows up and somehow forgets about all of this and doesn't remember this attack on her at a park. Although I would say it's probably pretty hard to forget when this happens to you. Although as you get older, like me in my very old age, the memories start to fade, You start to fade memories when you get into your 40s. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I have on him, though. He's held in jail till a future date. It doesn't even give me the future date. It just says in the future. Let me see if I can find out when he's due back. What's his name? Lansky. Why are they all named Lansky? I think we've read about 10 stories from someone named Lansky recently.
Fox 2.
Sarah Seda. Gary Lansky. All right, Mr. Gary Lansky. Let's go to the Detroit News. What do they say? He was arraigned on Thursday in the 36th District Court in Detroit. According to court records, he has been charged with assault with intent to murder. Magistrate set his bond at $2 million, scheduled his next court hearing for October 16, so in a few days. If convicted, he faces up to 4 years in prison. They say court records online did not list an attorney for him on Friday. Detroit police officers were called about 3:45 p.m. Tuesday to a home on, is it Starland Avenue, for a report of a stabbing. They arrived and found a young girl with a laceration on her throat being treated by medics. According to a preliminary investigation, the defendant approached the child at a park in the 5800 block of Greenview Avenue near Southfield Freeway and Ford Road, then cut her throat before fleeing the area. Detectives investigating led them to Lansky as a suspect. They arrested him later in the day. On Friday, officials with the Michigan chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations, that's a long name, identified the victim as Saida Mashra. They also said the girl is Muslim. Okay, so she's Muslim. Okay, what does that got to do with anything? Do you think it was a racial attack? Like a religiously motivated attack? Maybe. They say they are saddened to hear about the attack on the 7-year-old girl while playing in a park near her home. They say regardless of the motive, this attack was a senseless act of violence that will impact the lives of the child and her family and all other children who were in the park that day. The group says it believes the assault could be a hate crime. Could be. You'd have to find out his ideology. They say, okay, although at this time there's no evidence that this attack was motivated by hate, the assailant's true motives remain unknown. Yes, they also believe he was having a mental break. So I don't know how that works. They also said the group has spoken with the family and the Detroit police and is monitoring the situation. Why? What will you do if the situation changes? What power do these guys have? I love when they put out statements like this. Well, what are you going to do? Hold a press conference? What are you going to do? I love these organizations. They're always like, we're going to do something if the situation changes. What exactly? They just sound very powerful. They also said the group has spoken with the family and the Detroit police and is monitoring the situation. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just like, sure, thanks. It's like, yeah, we get it. It says, while the charges faced by Gali Lansky, who's writing this story? So his name now is not Gary, it's Gali, is it? Who's using AI to write their articles at the Detroit News? Detroit News, you need an editor. You need an editor to double check people's articles, because I don't know who the hell Gali Lansky is, but that might be his cousin. So many spelling mistakes in articles. It's almost like these people don't get paid to write stuff. It's bizarre. Oh, I really am going to glue you to the microphone. So it says here, while the charges faced by Gali Lansky are serious, his name's Gary, we urge the Detroit Police Department and the Wayne County Prosecutor Office to conduct a comprehensive investigation into the matter to determine whether hate was a motivating factor in the attack. They already told you the dude's crackers. He's already he's suffering a mental break. Probably doesn't even know what a Muslim is. He's just crackers. That's it. They're saying the incident is the latest assault involving a knife in recent weeks. Last week, a Detroit teen allegedly stabbed and killed a 64-year-old Detroit man at a home in the 6000 block of Minnock Street near Evergreen Road in Kirkwood. They say on the city's west side. Police said they believe the defendant targeted the victim on a dating app because he was a member of the LGBTQ community. They say a 13-year-old Taylor girl is also accused of stabbing her 7-year-old sister to death last month and could be sentenced as an adult. What? Hold on. We have to look into this. I don't remember reading this story. Do you guys remember this story? I don't remember ever hearing about a teen girl accused of killing her sister. They say a teen girl accused of murdering her younger sister in Taylor is due in court on Tuesday for a bond hearing. This comes after Wayne County prosecutor decided to charge the 13-year-old with an adult designation last week. The teen, who is not being named because of her age, was originally charged as a juvenile wait, if she got an adult designation, why are you protecting her? You don't need to anymore. She's now an adult. They say the teen, who is not being named because of her age, was originally charged as a juvenile, but prosecutor Kim Worthy added the adult designation due to other facts discovered in the case. All right. We might have to go back on this. Let's have a look. They say a 13-year-old girl who is accused of stabbing her 7-year-old sister to death while babysitting her will be designated as an adult, according to officials. The stabbing took place on Saturday, September 28, at a home on Banner Avenue in Taylor, near Telegraph Road. Police say the incident started as an argument over a note that the 7-year-old left about flushing the toilet. That's why I stab people. They say on Thursday during a hearing, the Wayne County Prosecutor Office submitted a formal request to change the initial legal filing in the case, proposing that the 13-year-old should be designated as an adult. All right, let's watch the video. I want to know more about this.
A 13-year-old called the father first and then called 911.
Telling a dispatcher she had stabbed her 7-year-old sister. It happened Saturday afternoon at their home on Banner Street in Taylor when the 13-year-old was babysitting the younger girl.
We have over 10 stab wounds. So ranging from the abdomen to the head to the neck.
The 7-year-old was taken to an area hospital where she was pronounced deceased. Police say the older sister used 2 knives, a butcher knife and a hunting knife.
All I can say is it's shocking and it's very tragic.
The motive for the brutal attack?
It stemmed from a note that was placed in the bathroom, and then the note was about flushing the toilet, like a simple note about flushing the toilet.
That note was left by the 7-year-old girl Monday, a makeshift memorial in their front yard.
She would always want to be friends with everybody. She would ride her bike and keep to herself.
The 13-year-old is being tried as a juvenile. She is being charged with first-degree premeditated murder, felony murder, and child abuse in the first degree. Prior to this,
she was not a problem in the house to the parents, and as well as the mother said that no problems at school. She's never been in trouble at school either.
She's very quiet and all that. She's like one of the stranger ones, kind of. But I've never seen her like this. I never thought she would do anything like this. When my grandma told me, I was horrified because they were like they were best friends, even though they were sisters. They would always play together. They had My Little Pony toys and they would play with each other.
In Taylor, Camila Miri.
By the way, bro, with the Raiders of the Lost Ark t-shirt, cool shirt, but maybe in the future think before you call people strange, because you never know who thinks you are strange, because maybe I think you're strange, maybe I think your haircut is strange. See how it works? Try and be better. Says here, yeah, and who told him that? Exactly. Wendy says, what 7-year-old can write that kind of note to make her sister so angry? One with great English, apparently. Has great writing literacy. US school systems seem to be doing better. That is brutal, and why would a slightly older sister, 13 years old, stab her little sister with 2 different knives? One a hunting knife and one
Fox
a
2
butcher.
News.
Hey, that is... We have to check this out in a second. I want to see what this is. Video image released of fake DTE workers who killed homeowner. We have to look at that in a second. I want to know more about that. This wasn't like a one stab thing in a fit of rage. They got angry at each other. There was a knife nearby. The girl picked up the knife and went, "Oh my God, what did I do?" No. 10 times using 2 different knives. That's like, I stabbed her a few times. I'm not really happy with this knife, so I'm going to go get one that's more pointy. I'm going to get one that works better, because I want this kid dead. This is not like sometimes it happens, people get angry, do something they regret. That's not this. This is like almost premeditated. I would say, like, how did she know where the hunting knife was? How did she know where the butcher knife was? How did she get it? These are all questions we need to know. And I don't understand why they're protecting her now that she has a adult designation on her file. If accepted by the court, they should be able to name her because they are going to try her as an adult. So odd. Oh, you mother effers. Hey guys, I'll be back in a second. 1 minute. 1 minute. All right, my ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Amazon dropped something outside, and I was like, oh, I don't want to leave it there. Someone might take it. Yeah, the note thing, well, they said they found a note, but I'm not sure if that's the driving force behind it. Sounds like a lot of built up anger. Jealousy, maybe? Barbie says children can have mental illness too, maybe undiagnosed. Maybe. Interesting that everyone says that they never seen a problem with her, though, and she was like a good student and very friendly. I guess we never know what goes on in the head of anyone, including children. Very disturbing story, but I want to read about this one that we saw in the corner. I want to know more about this. Where is that story? Let me see if I can find it again. Want to know more about these DTE officers or whatever. Here, suspects posing as DTE workers murdered elderly people. Here, posing it. What is a DTE worker? Detroit Transit? No. Oh, it's an energy company. Detroit Transit Electric or something. Okay, it's an energy company. They said suspects posing as workers murdered elderly Rochester Hills man, tied up his wife inside a home. What? This is mental. They say an elderly man was murdered and his wife was tied up inside a home in Rochester Hills, according to the Oakland County Sheriff, who said 2 suspects were posing as DTE workers when the incident took place. Both suspects are described as skinny black men and have a skinny black man and a heavy-set Latino man are on the loose, according to authorities, and they consider them armed and dangerous. The sheriff told Fox 2 outside the home in the 3700 block of Newcastle Drive where the murder happened. The suspects killed the 72-year-old homeowner in the basement and tied up his wife, who they left upstairs. She managed to get free and called 911 to alert authorities, but not before the suspects searched the home for more than 20 minutes. It's unclear what was taken from the property. The 2 suspects originally came to the home on Thursday night around 10 p.m., telling the couple they were concerned about a gas leak before being turned away. They returned to the address on Friday, the sheriff said, adding they were allowed in. The husband went to the basement with them where the gas comes into the home, and the wife never saw him again. The female victim has been taken to hospital. Authorities were looking for security footage from neighboring homes in hopes of finding any identifying information. As Bouchard said, they arrived in a white pickup truck that had a DTE play card on the side. maybe they do work for the energy company, and this is what they do in their spare time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've actually got Sheriff Mike Bouchard right here, who says that this is a situation with Ring Doorbell where they've got a search warrant. You've been trying to find these guys. Tell me about it. Who are you looking for?
So they have a Ring camera on the front door. We have permission from the owner. We have a search warrant. We've contacted Ring. They reset the password, but it keeps going back to a phone that's not accessible. And as a result, we can't access the image. I could give you images of our suspects right now that we're looking for if Ring simply help us. So am I frustrated? Beyond words.
Wow. And, you know, just to kind of recap the situation here, earlier today here on Newcastle Drive in Rochester Hills, 72-year-old man murdered his wife, tied up with duct tape upstairs. These two men, right, thin black man and heavyset Latino man, accused of dressing up as DTE workers, saying, hey, you've got a gas leak, making their way in. I mean, Sheriff, this is a pretty outrageous crime. I mean, what goes through your mind with this whole thing?
Yeah, it's horrendous. Well, I guess the first thing I would tell people is we think it was very targeted. So to the neighborhood, the community at large, we don't think that it's a random thing where they're knocking on doors. We think it was specific, probably, if I had to guess, related to the fact they owned a jewelry and a pawn business.
Right.
But, you know, we obviously have access, if we can get it, to images that we can share with your viewers out there of our suspects, but we got to get Ring to cooperate. We want to catch these guys. They need to get taken off the street for this incredibly terrible crime they committed in broad daylight.
Yeah, I mean, it's shocking just the audacity that these guys had, because they came last night around 10 p.m., weren't let in, came back around noon, let inside, and searched the house for about 20 minutes. It seems just like a totally shocking crime.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. And another reminder to folks, if somebody comes to your house and they want access to your house and they claim to be a utility worker or whatever the case may be, independently check with that company.
So it sounds like they actually arrested one of the suspects in Louisiana earlier today. From my Google Fooing, it says here, a man suspected in the killing of a 72-year-old Rochester Hills man was arrested and taken into custody on Saturday in Shreveport, Louisiana. They say the Oakland County Sheriff's Office is still looking for a second suspect. Hussein Murray was found dead in his basement on Friday. Two men posing as DTE workers are believed to be responsible for the death, according to the county sheriff office. So they say deputies on Friday found Murray's wife tied up and her hands had been duct taped. She told deputies she thought her husband may have been kidnapped. The 72-year-old woman told deputies that the two men had come into the home on Thursday talking about a gas leak, but they were not let in. They came back on Friday and they were allowed into the home. Murray went with the two men into the basement, seemingly to look for the leak. According to a news release, Murray's wife was briefly hospitalized after the incident, but has been released. They owned gold and glitter jewelry in, is it Hamtramck? The Oakland County Sheriff's Office confirmed on Saturday that the Oakland County Medical Examiner ruled the death a homicide. Wow, how sad. What for? What a senseless killing. Shot a 72-year-old man for no reason and tied his wife up upstairs. Sounds like they had a personal beef with him, right? Like, did they rip? Do the two guys think they got ripped off or something at the pawn business, and they wanted to take revenge? It's very strange. Like, why kill him? For what reason? Why not tie him up too? He's 72, and there's two of you. You could have just tied him up. It's very odd that they had to shoot him. It's very strange, unless he was armed as well, but I don't see anything here about him being armed. And let me see if I can find anything else on Murray. Hussein Murray was found dead in his basement on Friday. Jeez. Oh, so we do have a photo, if I can get it, of who they're looking for. Here's that Ring doorbell camera. They've arrested one of them. I think they're still looking for this guy. Here, so we're gonna make it bigger for you. There you go. So they were posing as DTE workers wanting to come in and look for a gas leak and ended up shooting 72-year-old Murray dead. Wanted jewelry, maybe. Maybe it was just a pure robbery, but don't understand why you had to shoot him. Wow, so they've got one of them. And here's the man that was killed. I'll show you a photo of him. This is who is his name? Hussein Murray Hussein, and this was the man that they shot and killed. Unfortunately, I'm trying to see if we can get a photo of the second suspect or not. Oh, they're not going to show us the second one. Okay. Give me a second. I just want to load this up. So these images are actually from Ring. Here's that Ring doorbell image. There's that first one. And where's that second one? It's not going to load the second one, but there you go. Directly from the Ring doorbell. How frightening, like something out of a horror movie. Gayla says he would have been told to take his mask off so I can see him before opening the door. It's a good point. It's a good point. It's very sad, though. They didn't need to die. By the way, I want to say thank you to someone. Someone sent in a donation like after the show yesterday, and I actually just remembered about it, and I want to say thank you to them. Now, I don't know who this person's chat name is because they didn't leave a chat name. So, okay. So I'm just going to call them Tracy. I'm not going to tell you their last name. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to say thank you to that person. That was very kind of you. And they say, thank you for spending so much time with us. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And thank you for your helping the channel. I do appreciate it. I have some stuff working for hurricane assistance. I'll talk about that more tomorrow night when there's more people here. And we'll do that in the coming days to help people in the aftermath of the 2 hurricanes. And I'll talk about what can be done, what I'm going to do, that type of thing. But thank you to Tracy. I appreciate the donation. Yeah, I can't find anything else about the first suspect. Are they not going to release his name? I'm just trying to see if we can find the first person's name. No. They're not going to release that. The skinny black man is what they called him. Ah, there's a video. Okay. I want to watch a video. Give me 1 second.
We're checking for gas leaks. Or DTE. We're checking for gas leaks. Or DTE. We're checking for gas leaks. Or DTE.
Sorry about that. The video wouldn't stop playing, and I was trying to fix it, and it was like it just kept repeating the same phrase over and over again. And I closed it, and it was still playing through my audio, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" So I was trying to fix it. I think it was some sort of delay. But there you go. You sort of see him at the front door telling them about this gas leak. Now, from what I understand, DTE did release a statement after the incident saying, "Our hearts go out to the victims of this horrible and tragic event, and we hope that the perpetrators are quickly apprehended and brought to justice. It is important to note that before DTE arrives at a customer's home for any service visit, we make every effort to contact them in advance, either by phone call from our call center, by email, or text message. DTE employees always carry a photo ID. We encourage customers to request to see the identification card before allowing access to the property. If customers wish to verify a worker's identity or confirm that a vehicle is an authorized company vehicle, they should call DTE customer service at 800-477-4747 to confirm the validity of the visit." The company also sent tips for when someone identifies themselves as a DTE employee and tries to enter your home. They say, "Get to know your gas supplier. Just because DTE supplies you with electricity doesn't mean they also supply you with gas. Copycats don't always know our service territory. Please know that while DTE does not provide residential gas distribution in Rochester Hills, it does operate gas transmission pipelines in the area. Before DTE makes a routine visit to your home, we will make every effort to contact you in advance, either by phone call from our call center or by email or text message. It is very rare for a DTE employee to need to enter your home, but it does happen. DTE will take every opportunity to inform you of any work that needs to be done in your home, and if possible, will contact you in advance to schedule a time to complete the work. Before you allow a person claiming to be or work for DTE into your home or on your property, you should look and do the following. All DTE Electric and DTE Gas employees and contractors carry photo identification badges and must show them when requested. Customers should ask the employee why they are there, and if necessary, call 800-477-4747 to confirm before allowing entry or access to their property. Keep the door closed while making the call and only speak through a closed screen door if you need to speak to the person. If an employee or contractor refuses to show their credential, the customer should refuse service and call 800-477-4747 to verify if DTE is scheduled to be on site or at the home. When it comes to gas service, the only reason a DTE employee would need to enter your home is if your meter is inside. This is common in older homes. Anyone with information about suspects, the incident, or has surveillance video is asked to call the Oakland County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. So that's their statement after the incident. Yeah, no work. Yeah, that's true. Oh no, they do have an ID badge. Here. You can see it. He has something here on his chest right there. Where would they get these uniforms from? Can you just buy them somewhere? That's what I would like to know as well. Who is this guy? That's what they need to find out. I think they've caught the other one, the skinny guy. They caught him in Shreveport earlier today. So I think he's been located. They're now looking for the larger fella. Let me see if I can find anything else about this in the past hour. No. They're just saying here that yeah, here's that video again. Is that all they give you?
Or DTE.
Yeah.
We're checking for gas leaks.
Okay, that's all they give you. I'm just trying to see if they tell us anything about the person they arrested in Shreveport. Oh, interesting. So the Hispanic male shown in the video, this guy here, the big fella, he's been located. He was the one arrested in Shreveport, Louisiana. The guy behind him, the skinny black guy, he is still outstanding. Sorry, I thought they gave us the video because they arrested the other one and they're looking for the guy in the video, but it seems like the other one didn't get in the video. They're saying, yeah, he was taken into custody without incident in Shreveport, Louisiana. They're still looking for his friend. They're saying there's a reward of up to $2,000 available for any information about the other suspect, if you know. No, that's a good idea. We were talking about them last night. About the Ring doorbell cameras. See, they do a good job. They've helped give evidence in so many different cases now. They are another tool in trying to track down people who hurt other people. So, all right, I think that's it for the night, everyone. I think that's all we're going to do tonight. But I'll be back tomorrow at 10:30 Eastern, maybe even a little earlier. And we're going to do a long show tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Sunday Nights with Ping. And it'll probably be, we've got like 7 different cases to look at. And it'll be a very interesting case. We're going to look a little bit more at the Lawrence case too. I want to show you something I was able to find. You sent me an email? Oh, okay. I'll have a look. Hold on. All right. All right, we'll end with this because I want to talk about it. So apparently the dog tied to a pole during the Hurricane Milton has a new name. His name is Trooper. They named him Trooper after the person who found and rescued him. Here he is. Here he is being rescued. He was very unhappy at first. He was very, very mad that someone left him. Look at all that water they left him in. Look at the poor baby. He's like some person that looks like you left me here. Oh, look how deep the water is. Poor dog. But apparently he's okay. He's fine. And he's got a new name, Trooper. And he's been named after the person who was able to rescue him. And this is what he looks like now. He's doing fine. Look at that big smile. He's doing all right. They're going to put him up for adoption, I think. They're going to put him up for adoption. No charges have been filed in the incident, but they are looking into it. They say, although Trooper is now in the society's care, he had initially been taken to the Hillsborough Peat Resource Center to get a clean bill of health and a check for a microchip. After determining that the dog was abandoned, he was released to the same trooper who saved him. No original owner has come forward, although Trooper was mistakenly listed as having been returned to owner. Then the government office called asking if the Humane Society could take Trooper from the Emergency Management Services and transport him from Hillsborough County to Leon County. Trooper was driven to Tallahassee and has been put in foster care. They say he's quite stressed and anxious, and new places and people do make him feel, unfortunately, uncomfortable. They said, but Trooper is starting to warm up to people and they've learned more about him. For example, he likes swimming, but might not like children. He's not yet up for adoption and they hope to learn more about him in the coming weeks. We want to know more so that we can put him in the best home and that he can have a home forever. They said the society has 200 animals in its care right now, including cats, also rescued during the hurricane. They stress that Trooper is not the only dog with a story and not the only dog in need of a home there. Go out and adopt a dog because there are so many more like Trooper that didn't get famous that still need you. So that's a nice end to the story and a good lesson to go to a shelter to get a new animal. Don't go to like Pet Barn or whatever or a breeder. Just take an animal that needs a home. It's kinder and it allows that animal to have a full life. So yeah, he's in He's in foster care. He's in foster with the trooper. Ah, they just said they put him in the society's care. Let me double check that. No, he's in the care of the society. So, no, he's not with the trooper. He got released back to the trooper. Then the trooper gave him to the Leon County Humane Society. So he's not with the original guy, apparently. Maybe someone just couldn't take him. Maybe someone fleeing the hurricane was going to a place that wouldn't accept animals. Not excusing their actions. Their actions were terrible. They could have dropped him off at a shelter themselves. Tying him to a pole is never the answer. Yeah. There you go. We'll end with Trooper's lovely face. Look like he's having a fun time now. He's like, well, it's interesting they said he does like swimming. So he's not afraid of water anymore. He loves water, which is very interesting for a dog who was found in a like a neck deep puddle next to a fence. But I'm glad he's having a better time now. That's good. Good work, Trooper. Good work. All right, we're going to get out of here for the night. It is very late. And then I will be back tomorrow for Sunday Nights with Ping at 10:30. And we got heaps of cases to talk about, including we're going to talk more about the Lawrence case. I think that'll be interesting to talk some more in-depth discussion on. Angela said, I would sleep in my car if I had to. That's what we said. We said if we couldn't find a shelter that would take our cats, we would just sleep in the car with them. I'd rather do that and make sure they're okay than to make me more comfortable. I'd rather make sure my animals are okay. Because when you get an animal, you take a responsibility on that you have to give them the best you can. And that includes depriving yourself in a situation like that if you have to, because they deserve to be treated good as well. So I will, I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? I'm sorry it was so late tonight. I still wanted to come on and hang out with you all. And we'll be back tomorrow, okay? Back tomorrow at 10 o'clock, 10:30 Eastern. Bye. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Have a good Sunday morning. And if your team's playing tomorrow, I hope they win, except if you're the Cardinals. And I hope you lose, so our Niners can stay number one. All right. Bye. Good night. See you later.